Hi everyone. I'm gonna record and go over, obviously I'm recording, I'm gonna go over evening prayer for the blue violins. So what I suggest is that you play along with the video, listen to the feedback and tips that I'm gonna give you, because I'm gonna break it down by sections. So for example, I'm gonna start with beginning to measure 9. I'm gonna talk about what you need to focus on, what you need to be doing, and then how to practice it, and then we'll play it with counting and without counting. And then if you need a positive video, do that and then try it on your own. And then at the end, when I finish the entire song, I'm gonna play it with you at the tempo it's supposed to be. Okay? So just watch and listen, okay? All right, so make sure when you start the piece, you have your mute on. From the beginning to measure 9, be paying attention to your slurs and your counting. So at measure 2, you're supposed to slur the B and A together. So that'll be a down bow, like this. So that way at measure 3, you end on a down bow, okay? Then, down, up, down, up. At measure 4, make sure you slur all 3 notes, F sharp, E, and D. And you're gonna go down. Again, that's down, down, up. That way you end on a down bow at measure 5. Make sure at measure 6, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. At measure 8, you have a dotted quarter note and a single eighth note. So that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Like this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay? So, now I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it. It sounds like this from the beginning. Okay, now, if you want, go try it on your own. Pause the video and go try it on your own. And then if you're still struggling, come back and listen to this section again. Now I'm gonna play it again with counting this time to help you. So play along with this as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Down, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Nice. Now, if you're still struggling with it, pause the video, try it on your own, or try it again with me. Okay, now looking at measure 9 to 17. Okay, a few things you need to watch out for. Make sure that measure 9, you have a low 1 for the B flat. So it goes behind your normal first finger. So you can actually see it on my violin because I have tapes. This is my school violin, so I have tapes for my students. Take your B, pull it back a half step to play a B flat. Okay? Okay, and then make sure at that measure it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now, at measure 10, make sure you stretch up from that C to a C natural. So B flat to C natural. You got a space, it's a whole step. Okay, then at that measure you have, at measure 10, 1, 2, then you go back to a B natural, 1, 2, and then you're getting louder and louder until measure 12, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do that again because I almost played a C natural. So make sure you adjust back to a C sharp in that measure. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Like this, 1, 2, reach up to a fourth finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then at 13, you go soft. One, 2, 3, 4. And measure 15, make sure you add in a C natural and a fourth finger on the E. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now we're going to play measure 9 together. I'm going to count and play it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Fourth finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to play it again without counting this time. If you need to do it again with the counting, please do so. Okay, without counting from 9 to 17. 2, 3, 4. I messed up. Sorry. Let's do that again. 9. 1. Okay, now, if you're struggling still, go back and play it again, measure by measure, do it slow, try it at different speeds, okay? Now, from 17 to 22, still got a lot of the same rhythms, quarter notes, half notes. Now, make sure you're crescendoing from 17 all the way up to 20. Okay, so you have... And then you get softer at measure 20 going into 22 because you have a decrescendo. Now, at measure 18, there is a divisi. So I suggest practicing both because I will be telling you who is sitting outside and inside next rehearsal. So you need to be prepared to play both. So try it once with the top notes and try it another time with the bottom notes. Now make sure at measure 18 you extend that third finger for a G sharp. Okay, so your third finger normally is here. You got to extend it. And I have that gold tape there for my fourth finger. So you have to see how close it is. Really extend that to a G sharp. Okay, then at measure 19, you know all those notes. You have to readjust your third finger back because you're going to play a D natural on the A string, so you don't accidentally play it as a D sharp. Then at measure 20, there's the divisi again. The top note is G natural, low 2 on the E string. Okay, so here's your first finger. Low 2 is right next to it. It's half step. They're touching. Now, also the bottom note is open E. So like I said before, play the top note one time and then play the bottom note another time. That measure you're counting is, measure 20, that counting is 1, 2, 3, and 4, end. So it goes like this. Now I'm going to play both notes. You're going to hear both notes. Here's measure 20. 1, 2. Okay, that wasn't great, so I'm going to do it again. So I encourage you to do it again if it doesn't sound that good. Okay, just had to find my notes. Okay, here's 20, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, do that again if you need to. Now let's go back to measure 17. I'm going to play it while counting, and then we'll do it again without counting. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. Okay? If you need to do it again with counting, do it again. Or if you need to try it on your own, do that. Okay, let's go back to 17. I'm going to play it without counting this time. Don't forget your crescendos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I just thought maybe it'd be a good idea to do that section again with the top part once and the bottom part once. Okay, so here's the top part. Here we go, 17 again, 3, 4. Now, if you need to do it again, do it again. Now here it is with the bottom part. 2, 3, 4. Now, we're going to move on to 22. Remember that these notes that move really fast are tremolos. So when you're going from measure 21, you're going to have to do a little lift and do a very soft pull. Place your bow at the middle and pull. Okay, that wasn't a very good demonstration, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to set my bow towards the middle, and I'm going to go to the upper half. Now to play this fast and quiet, you have to play right at the fingerboard, see? Okay, and then my hand motion is like this. It looks funny, I know, but it's a finger wrist motion. It's not an arm motion, very small. See if I can move the camera so you can see it better. Okay, it's like this. Set your bow at the middle. There you go. See, I'm barely moving my bow. You need to be super quiet there because the cellos have the melody and their part is more important. Okay, so I measure 22 to 26. Make sure in your head you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. For each whole note, all the way to 25, and then at 25 it's a half note, then a quarter note tied over to an eighth note. So at 25 it's 1, 2, change to open E, 3, 4. So measure 25 would be 1, sorry, don't do that, have your bow already here. 1, 2, 3, 4, lift. Okay, do it slower, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, lift, back to the lower half, and then you start 26. Okay? So this section's not going to require a lot of practicing. It's just you need to remember to play soft. Bow placement and wrist finger motion for the tremolo. Okay, so let's play 22 to 26 together. Here we go. 1, 2, together, go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was 26. Now I'm going to do it again without me counting. This time in your head or with your foot, you need to be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Now sometimes it's easier to subdivide eighth notes, so you can think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so 22 to 26 with no counting. 2. Okay, so there's 26. Now, key thing, when you're tremoloing, if that's a word, you can lift up your pinky a little bit, like this, see, to take some weight off of the bow to make it easier to move your bow faster. Okay? Now, let's go into 26. We're only going to do 4 measures, because that's the next section. So 26 to 30, you come back with the melody here. So you got to make sure that you start on a G natural, low 2, on the E string, okay? Low 2. Make sure you count your half notes at 27 as 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then make sure at measure 28, it's a low 2 again, because you're playing a G natural throughout the whole song, unless it says otherwise. So 28, you got. Okay. Then at 29, you have that dotted quarter note to a single eighth note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So on a G natural, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay? Do that measure again if you need to. So 26 with counting to 30 is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit louder. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, make sure you start soft and then you get louder at 28. Now we're going to do it again without the counting. Okay, so if you need to do it again with the counting before you do it without the counting, please do. Pause the video and come back. Okay, here's 26, starting soft. 3, 4. A little bit louder. All right. Now we're at measure 30, and you're gonna start on a B flat. So make sure here's your B natural normally. You gotta pull it back a half step. Whoops, I went too far. Try that again. Just a couple centimeters back, right in the middle. Okay, you gotta make sure that that rhythm is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, then at measure 31, it's a C natural. So we have a low 2. You got to readjust your first finger. Make sure your second finger is right next to it. And that's 2 beats each, and you're getting louder like this. Okay, and then at 32, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Now make sure that you've adjusted your C natural back to a C sharp. So you got to go low 2 to high 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So at 33, make sure you play E as a 4th finger, because there's no point of string crossing. Then you get softer. So I'm going to play 32 and 33. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go on. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, while staying soft. Okay, so let's play 30 to 36 now with counting, crescendos, and our accidentals that we're supposed to play. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, remember on B flat, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, adjust, 3, 4, louder, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 4th finger, 2, 3, softer, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you need to do it again, do it again. Otherwise, I'm going to do it without counting now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try it again if you need to. Now, at 31, make sure your crescendo really happens on the B natural. It's much easier to do a crescendo on the up bow than the down bow. Okay? Now I measure 36 to 42. You've got to make sure that you have a C natural at 36, so another low 2. At 37, make sure you play it as a 4th finger. Okay? So you're going to go open. So at 36 and 37, play the E as a 4th finger, not an open, because there's no point of string crossing. Make sure at 37, those are 2 counts each. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then 38, pretty straightforward quarter notes you all know. At 39, it goes into divisi again, like earlier at measure, I forget what that is, let me look, at measure 18. So make sure you practice the top and the bottom. I'll do the same thing where I played both together and then separate. Okay, and then crescendo from 39 all the way up to 41, then get softer. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and go over 42 to the end because it's just tremolos the entire time. So the most important thing is to relax your arm from 42 to the end. You have to play so soft because red section has the melody at 43, followed by the green section, and then the cellos end the last 4 measures with this beautiful slow pits part. So you gotta get soft to where we can't hear you from 46 all the way to the end. Okay? So first at 36, back to 36, excuse me, make sure you play C natural and a 4th finger like this. Stay on 4th finger and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go. And then you got G natural if you're playing the top note. Don't forget at 41 that there's a slur there as well on the F sharp to E. If you didn't mark it in your part, please mark it. Always mark things in your music so you don't forget. Okay, so at 39, top part sounds like this. Then the bottom notes at 39 sounds like this. If they sound out of tune, work with a tuner, play each note slowly until your tuner gives you the okay that it's in tune. Okay, so now we're gonna play 36 to the end with counting. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here's green section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cellos. 1, 2, 3. Now get softer. Play us over the fingerboard. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, and stop. And then you stop. Okay? Sorry, I did a little extra. Don't take your bow off. Watch, and when my hands go down, you put your instrument down. So from 42 to the end, you play the same note the entire time. You need to just make sure that you're counting 4 beats in each measure from 42 to the end. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it helps you, remember that 4 times 7 is 28. So you're count to 28 if you have to, and then that's when you stop. Okay? Now, I'm gonna do 36 without counting to the end. Okay, so if you need to go do it again with counting, please do. Here we go. From 36 to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the end. Now, I'm going to do it again without counting, with playing just the top part. But this time, I'm only going to do 36 to 42 because we don't need to practice 42. I think you can do it. Okay, so 36 to 42, top notes only. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, if you need to do it again, please do. And I know I'm moving really fast, but if you need to go back and work on it, just always pause and come back to it. Okay, now 36. One more time with the bottom notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, go back and do that again if you need to. All right, now I'm gonna play the whole thing. There will be a brief pause at measure 22 because I have a page turn because I'm reading off my score. So just make sure to wait, and then I'll start up again with counting, okay? So from the beginning, make sure your mute is on. You take your mute off. Actually, I don't think you ever take your mute off. Yeah, you don't take your mute off ever, okay? All right, here we go, from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sorry, I forgot to pause. I'm gonna turn real quick because I have a page turn. I'm gonna start back at 22. I'm gonna have my bow at the middle and pull. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so make sure you play through it with me. If you need to do it again, go back to where we started without the counting. Make sure you really work on the divisi part. Make sure you've got all of your slurs written in. You pay attention to all your accidentals. If you need to do it again without the recording, do it. Make sure if you practice with a metronome that you set your metronome to 72 beats per minute for a quarter note. Okay? Now, make sure to practice both parts of the divisi part, because I'm going to be telling you at next rehearsal which one of you is going to play the top note, which one of you is going to play the bottom note. All right? Good luck. Happy practicing.